Good evening, Marcelo.
Good evening, Johan.
Marcelo is a colleague for me. He is also from be.tantric online community, and he is in the south of France. And tonight we're talking about yoga. Marcelo, explain to me, why is yoga so important just to do yoga? I mean, we're going to talk a little bit later about yoga and tantra, but why is yoga, to do yoga, so important?
For me, yoga is a lifestyle that allows me to sense my body from acceptance, from harmony. So it's about first harmony with the physical body and also with my energy. So with how I feel. So putting together a good balance and harmony between my physical body and my feelings, my energy and my feelings. Wow. And this is within myself, the impact of yoga. I actually sense that in a very strong way during the lockdown. I was in the lockdown, not here in the south of France, but I was in Milan. I was in a city, and after living in the jungle in Kopangan for many months, I was in an ashram and very connected with nature and with the harmony and balance that nature gave me. I found myself quickly after living in a city during a lockdown by myself. I was quite alone and lonely and in that vibe of the city, you know, and Milan became very weird during the lockdown. People were much angry, and yeah. I understand that. I was myself. I had like strange feelings, challenging feelings going on. And yoga allowed me to kind of channel these feelings and sensations and connect with more subtle facets of myself.
Wow. So I've started yoga a few years ago, and you know, the classes that I attended was in person, so you had to go to yoga class. There was no thing like Zoom 2 years ago, and there was no online yoga classes. If I would want to restart my yoga classes, what do I need to do? I mean, is it just a little bit stretching and online and looking at you, or what can I expect to do online yoga class?
Well, there is what you say in yoga, stretching and doing asanas, you know, postures. And that's one thing that we do. But this is a portal to access your energetic system and your subtle system, which is the spirit or the soul, or we call it in different ways, you know. And when you practice yoga, you get into like a wedding, a connection, almost like a copulation between your physical body and your subtle body, your spirit. And this way you balance the whole being, including emotions, energy, and this gives you the capacity to have more clear thoughts. So what I recommend to start or to restart with yoga is to wash out, get rid of all the conditionings, get rid of the external image of yoga. Very often when we think of yoga, we think of asanas, which is the pose. And we want to be in that right pose, as beautiful as possible, conditioned by Instagram, by the world of image, yes, where we are very conditioned. And so what I recommend is to dive into yourself, to experience it from love towards your own presence, your energy, and your balance, your harmony is the only thing that matters when you practice yoga.
Okay, so that makes absolutely sense, and I think that's also maybe in a way much better to do it online, and you don't have all this distractions of a class of yogis that can do headstands and the crowd pose and the arms in the air and everything, and it looks so beautiful, and they all beautifully built. But here I am, a little bit overweight and in my 50s nearly, and I can't do any of those things. So, you know, is yoga only postures, or what is yoga more than postures?
Well, the first thing I want to tell you is that I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Because you're beautiful.
Thank you.
That's the first thing. You are.
Thank you.
You are. Yes. Yes. And regarding the other part of what you were sharing, I think it's about how you feel inside, you know. When we practice tantric yoga specifically, I always say when I facilitate, please don't get into the asana, but allow the asana to manifest from inside of yourself towards the outside.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the asana has to bloom from inside, and it's your natural intelligence that manifests. It's not about having the external right proportion position, but it's about your energy, and your energy moves within your body based on how you feel and based on how you are now.
Yes.
And you are now in a situation which is conditioned by a lot of emotions, thoughts, and all this have an impact in the physical body. So if I have a heartbreak, I'm not going to be like that.
No.
If I have a heartbreak, I'm going to be more like that.
Absolutely.
If I am like that, I'm not going to be able to do the camel pose the first time like this. So the problem is that if we don't do it like this, we stop doing it because we interpret that as a failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have the external conditioning. So instead of getting into failure, we prefer avoiding it.
Yes.
So if we allow the asana, the posture, to bloom and manifest from inside, from how you feel, from your 2 days balance and harmony, then you will go like this, and you will accept, you will explore your boundaries. There are no limits in tantric yoga. There are boundaries. Limits cannot move. Boundaries do move and expand. And then, you know, after a little bit, it's not when you push that you get there. It's when you accept that you're here and you send love to all the parts of the body that manifest resistance, that then all these parts receive that love from yourself, and then the asana blooms and you get there. And then the energy flows. And when the energy flows, it balances your system, and you're allowing the organic natural intelligence to heal what is clenched. Because tantric yoga is about an unconscious process to allow nature to heal. Because what happens is we want to control life. We want to control what is not controllable, because we cannot control life. We have billions of cells. We don't know how many, and they communicate with each other. So tantric yoga is about allowing that to happen.
You know, something just went on for me, like, you know, the globe is burning. You know, I'm a very much the person that needs to in control. I have to control everything, and you know, you have to control your posture in yoga, and that's maybe also why it didn't work for me, for many reasons, because I was always too much in control. So thank you for that. That's wonderful to listen and say, allow it and not control it. Marcelo, you're talking about Tantra, and you know, for me, Tantra is one thing and yoga is another thing. But how does it work? You say Tantra yoga. How? I don't really understand.
Yeah. Thank you for this question. Because I started practicing yoga.
Yes.
I was 20 something. I practiced yoga the first time in a gym club in London, in a very busy gym, and Soho gym. And I was practicing, and in the yoga room, it was not a yoga room specific to yoga. It was like a normal room. And then you could hear during the practice, you were doing the asana, and you could hear the weights like stonk, donk. So it was very connected with the fitness. You know?
Yes.
But some way I went to go deeper in that, and I was practicing a lot. I mean, I was going to the gym very often. I was obsessed with the physical body. It was many years ago, like maybe 18 years ago. And then I practiced different kinds of yoga, but I kept that as something that was in addition to my training, my physical exercise. So it was always from the angle of physical exercise. And then about 10 years ago, so some years later, I got to know about Tantra. I had a very challenging period in my life, and I met Anand Rudra, and I got into Tantra. And it was a big discovery, but it had nothing to do with yoga at that moment. There were some practices within Tantra that were connected with yoga. So we were doing some asanas, but that was not the purpose. That was just like a small piece of it. Mm. And for some reason, I was drawn to an ashram in Kopangan in Thailand 2 years ago because of a conversation I had. I had a nervous breakdown. I quit my job. I quit my life in Europe, in Italy. I quit my girlfriend. I quit everything. And I had to find myself. And I chose to go to this ashram specialized in tantric yoga. And I didn't know, honestly, Johan, what that was about, you know. So I then ended up there just to try to see what happens. And I discovered something that had nothing to do with the yoga I knew about, and had nothing to do with tantra I knew about. And that was the first month. I was, what the hell? Where did I come? It didn't really make sense, you know. But then I started to connect the dots, the lines between the dots, because I had a lot of dots that I didn't understand. And then it all made sense. And today it really makes sense. Yoga, tantra, tantric yoga, as a practice that puts together these two words in a very deep and meaningful way.
Wow. So it's like yin and yang, male, female, everything fits together. Tantra yoga.
It fits together, yes. To me, it's not really like yin and yang, because I see polarities going on.
Yes.
In yin and yang. And actually in tantric yoga, there is a seed that is common to tantra and yoga. Okay. And that seed is acceptance, is non-duality. It's blending together opposites, which is some way a yin and yang, but that yin and yang is the same one for tantra and yoga. Yoga means union in Sanskrit. That's the etymology of yoga. So it's a union of the different bodies that we are made of. It's a union and communion of your different energies and your physical body. And it's a union between yourself and the universe. So we are part of a whole and we are united to it. And Tantra, to me, is about acceptance of light and shadow. It's non-duality. It's like dualism or Taoism. Tantra is about letting go and on the same time being disciplined. Is gentle discipline. So it's these opposites together. And it's a union as well.
Also.
Yeah. In Tantra, the creation of the universe comes from a union, a moment of union. And that's where we come from.
Yes.
And that's very common with yoga.
Oh. Sure. That is a lot of food for thought, you know. So actually, I'm a little bit speechless now because I thought of Tantra and yoga as totally something different, and yet it is a wonderful union, like you said. So I would like to have another conversation with you sometime, and then maybe we can explore a little bit more. And do you have online courses that you do, or classes, or how does it work?
Yes. What you were saying about the online before is very interesting. I was very surprised. I went to facilitate live sessions face to face, I mean in person, but actually facilitating sessions online is very powerful as well. It's a totally different angle to work from. But like you say, it doesn't, I mean, it helps to get rid of competition with yourself,
Yes.
the measurement. So now I am facilitating session different days per week, 7 a.m. I'm not an early bird at all. I'm somebody who likes to sleep until 9, 10, whatever. But I am waking up at 6:30 many days to facilitate yoga. And it's great because it's the moment where the body is more tense and, hard, because in the morning we haven't released endorphin and anti-inflammatory substances that we produce naturally. So the body is more rigid, and it's very good to start from that ground, from that context of physical sensations, because this way you have to explore your boundaries. And I am doing one session per week with be.tantric.
Yes.
Which is on Thursdays at 7 a.m. We do some breathing, pranayama. So it's a meditation through breathing and yoga asanas. And sometimes we do bandhas as well, which is the activation of certain muscles combined with the breathing to unlock and release energy that is locked in certain parts of the body and flow into a different awareness. It's like a meditation as well. And then I'm doing with a group in Italy, sessions 7 a.m. Tuesday and Friday within my own platform, which is called Soft Yoga. So Science of Freedom Yoga.
Wow,
Tantra, thank you. Tantra is for me the science of freedom. It's about accepting light and shadow, exploring shadow from freedom.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. So I have a new idea of yoga, and I will definitely see you in the yoga class. So I can start my yoga practice. So thank you so much, Marcelo. So if you want to know more about the be.tantric community, online community, you're welcome to either contact Marcelo, or you can contact me. And then this community is a wonderful platform for online teachings, practices, and little workshops about not only Tantra, but also yoga. Marcelo, thank you so much and happy evening.
Thank you, Johan. It's a pleasure to talk to you, always.
Thank you, Marcelo.